Samgorst. It's been left to rot. It's just a few miles away from here, but it's a totally different world. They hold fancy dinners in this hall, while my neighbours queue at food banks. People come here to register the deaths of loved ones, the cause often being conditions that are linked to deprivation and poverty. The contrast between this hall and what we have in Garston is not an accident. It's the outcome of political choices that are now being made by a Labour government that have forgotten what the word Labour ever meant. I'm here today not just as a local councillor who kicked Labour out of a safe seat of 20 years, not just as a trade unionist, but as a mum, as a gay woman, and as a nurse. I am here as someone who's watching this country fall apart and wondering what kind of future my kids are going to have and where we'll even fit in society if we don't fight back. I see it every day, in our hospitals, in our communities, and on our streets. People are exhausted and they're working harder just to survive. Families are choosing between heating their houses and eating. Nurses are using food banks. Pride flags are being torn down. Working class people are being blamed for a crisis that we didn't create. We're told to stay quiet. Every mother and baby the care that they need. At the same time, we've got private firms lining up to profit from our pain, treating our health as a market instead of a human right. And what does the Labour Party offer us? More privatisation, more poverty, and more policing of the poor while the rich are walking free. This meeting tonight isn't just a ballot box project, it's a movement that will train organisers, fund campaigns and build power from the ground up. We've already seen glimpses of this power at Palestine rallies, nurses' picket lines, the Birmingham bin workers' strikes, rent strikes, and locally, recently we've had the Live Housing strike. We've had climate marches led by young people who refuse to be ignored. That energy, that determination is what this movement wants to harness and amplify. Now, look around the room. Some of us will say that there's no new faces here, that most of us have been in this fight for years, if not decades. They're right, but that's not a weakness, it's our greatest strength. In this room, we are a community that have built the NHS, fought Thatcher, marched against war and genocide, against racism and injustice. Time and time again, you have stood on the front line when careerist politicians have faltered, and today we're standing again. The future won't be won by us alone. Our task after tonight is to take what we know and have learned to a new generation. We must bring the youth with us into this movement, into the struggle for a fairer socialist country. The struggle has always been intergenerational. So commit to organising locally, go back to your communities and recruit people into this movement. Be visible and be loud. Tell people that this movement is here for them. I've got 3 asks of everyone here tonight. The first one being to email your local Labour councillors and MPs, if you haven't already, and tell them that that they're not getting your vote. Bring at least one more person with you to the next meeting, the next action, or the next campaign. And thirdly, consider throwing your name in the hat to be a local councillor along with me, Sam and Alan. That is how we'll grow, and that's how we'll win. If you've ever felt ignored or abandoned or betrayed, then this is your party. If you've ever wanted politics to feel like hope again, then this is your party. And if you believe that change isn't just possible, but it's necessary, then this is your party. Thank you.
Yeah, before the meeting, Lucy told me she was nervous, predicting it. Well, if that's what you do when you're nervous, I'd love to see you when you're composed and calm. That reminds me of a little argument we had with the leader of the Liberal Democrats in the council chamber. And Carl, he's a nice lad, you know, but he shouted at me, "Your group could meet in a phone box. Carl, this is a bloody big phone box." And I'm going to give you a few reminders because on your seats there is a card and you can sign up on any of the social media sites, and you can also sign up with a QI code, which I thought was something to do with Stephen Fry, but I don't know. And there will be forms for people who are not computer literate, which Audrey raised. And I think that is important. I believe there's 2 million people in this country who are not au fait with the computer. The next speaker, I don't think will be one of them, because we do need young leaders of our movement, people who stand up over Palestine, who stand up against austerity. So I want to introduce the MP for Coventry South, Zarah Sultana.